So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a secret war that's happening inside pretty much every single machine learning algorithm. It's this constant battle, this really delicate balancing act known as the bias-variance tradeoff. And honestly, understanding it is the key to understanding how AI really works. It's a great question, isn't it? I mean, we build these incredibly smart, sophisticated models. They're designed to predict and classify and basically make sense of the world. And yet, none of them are perfect. They all make mistakes. The reason why has nothing to do with computer bugs or bad data. It's actually something way more fundamental, something that's built right into the nature of learning itself. Well, the answer is this constant tug of war that's going on deep inside the model. It's a tension between two competing and totally different kinds of error, and each one is pulling the model in the opposite direction. So, to really get this conflict, we've got to meet the two main players in this tale of two errors. All right, in one corner, we have bias, who you can think of as the oversimplifier. And in the other corner, we have variance, the overreactor. These two opposing forces are really at the heart of our story today. So to see how they battle it out, let's break them down one by one, and we'll start with bias. Okay, so let's dig into our first character here, bias, the stubborn oversimplifier. So what is it really? Simply put, bias is the error you get when a model's assumptions about your data are just way too simple. The model basically has this rigid, preconceived idea of how the world works, and it just refuses to believe that the data might be more complicated than its own little rulebook. And when you have high bias, you get this thing called underfitting. Because the model is so simple, it just completely sails past the important, nuanced patterns that are hiding in the data. It's not just wrong in a random way, it's consistently wrong in the exact same way every single time. Here's a way to picture it. Imagine your data points make this beautiful, curvy, winding line. Well, a high bias model is like you trying to draw that elegant shape using nothing but a stiff, straight ruler. It doesn't matter how you angle it or where you place it, you're just never going to capture the true shape of the data. So, where do you see this out in the wild? A classic example is trying to use a simple linear model when your data has a really complex nonlinear relationship. Or maybe using algorithms like naive Bayes, which are built on these really strong, rigid assumptions. They're powerful tools for sure, but they definitely bring a lot of bias to the table. All right, so we've met the oversimplifier. Now let's meet its opponent, the other side of the coin, variance, the frantic overreactor. Yeah, variance is the total opposite of bias. This is the error that pops up when your model is just too flexible, too sensitive. It pays way too much attention to the specific data it was trained on, and that includes all the random noise and unimportant quirks. So what happens when it's this sensitive? You get a condition called overfitting. The model has essentially memorized the training data, noise and all, instead of actually learning the underlying patterns. And this makes it incredibly unstable. You could change the training data just a tiny bit, and the whole model could flip upside down. Let's go back to our drawing analogy. A high variance model, that's like taking a pen and perfectly tracing every single dot in your data. Your line ends up being this frantic, zigzagging mess that, yeah, it perfectly hits all the training dots, but it completely misses the actual underlying curve. It's a perfect fit for the data it's already seen, but a total mess for anything new. You see this all the time with things like decision trees that are allowed to grow incredibly deep, where they create a new rule for every tiny little exception. Or using an algorithm like k-nearest neighbors with a really small k, where a prediction is based on just one or two of its closest neighbors, making it super sensitive to any random noise. So there you have it, the oversimplifier versus the overreactor. And this is exactly why they are locked in this constant battle we call the inevitable trade-off. Let's break this down. High bias, your model is too simple. It misses the point, and it fails even on the data it was trained on. High variance, your model is too complex. It memorizes all the details but misses the big picture, which means it fails spectacularly the second it sees new data. The core of this whole thing works just like a seesaw. If you try to lower your model's bias by making it more complex and flexible, its variance almost always goes up. Okay, so then you try to lower the variance by making the model simpler, and yep, the bias starts creeping right back up. You literally can't push one down without the other one rising. And that right there, that's the whole ballgame. This constant balancing act, this seesaw, that is the fundamental tension between underfitting and overfitting. They are two sides of the very same coin. You can't separate them.
Okay, so if you can't get rid of one without boosting the other, what on earth do you do? Well, that brings us to the final and most important piece of the puzzle, finding the equilibrium.
See, winning this game isn't about completely destroying bias or crushing variance, because you can't. The real goal, the true art of it, is finding that perfect sweet spot, that point of equilibrium where the total error from both bias and variance combined is as low as it can possibly go. And at the end of the day, this is what separates a good data scientist from a great one. It's not just about knowing how to run fancy algorithms. It's the art and the science of skillfully managing this trade-off. It's about building a model that's just flexible enough to capture the real patterns, but not so flexible that it gets tricked by all the random noise.